Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, Season 2, Episode 5. It's called The Vale Village, Part 1. So full spoilers for the episode, as always. And even when I'm not jokingly making that title longer than it needs to be, it's already pretty goddamn long. So,
yeah.
So this is the middle story of the season, middle book, so first half of that. And we go to the VFD village, as we were heading to last time. That said, we actually start with a bit of an amusing little car chase.
We do.
We start with the Baudelaires, Mr. Poe. It's like, and I can't remember what the phrase was now, but it was something like, this is such a long time, you know, what was it? And indeterminable long time, I think that was the
word. I think that might be.
And then as soon as he says that, we made a notice, we've been travelling for such a long time, and then camera pulls out, goes into, like, you know, Olaf and his crew, and it's like, and they make the exact same say, we have been driving here for such a long time. That was really funny.
With Esme as well.
Sorry, with Esme, who's now we have two of them dressing up and being characters, because Esme becomes the chief of police, but the chief of police as dressed by a stripper, as opposed to an actual chief of police, and then Olaf becomes the 70s gritty New York detective, but who's also into scat.
I'm going to just put this out there. Scatman Olaf is my favourite.
Okay. I can't fault it. Here's a little thing that I liked about this one that we've not really had before. You see him practicing his character earlier in the episode. He's on his own in the saloon, and he's like just the piano, and he's doing a little bit of scat, and I'm like, that's kind of random. Why is he doing this? But then later on, you see, oh no, he was rehearsing for the next character he's playing. Because we actually had him and like Philly and like, you know, toe to toe and
doing a full Western face-off,
and, you know, diving over the counter, and then the fire hose is the lasso almost with the you know, with the librarian.
It's when Fillion bursts into the saloon and the doors swing open. I'm like, oh, okay, they're just doing it.
By the way, nothing will please me more than seeing Nathan Fillion in a duster. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
What do you mean it did happen?
I mean, not again.
He may be on a Western at some point.
All right, fine, maybe, but
like, I'm not accepting you try to put down my love of Firefly with your shitty comment. I like, factually, everything I just said is completely accurate, because it just did happen, and it could happen again. It may not happen in a Firefly continuation of some kind, but you can shove the fire pole up your ass, quite frankly. So, yeah, so I have one complaint about this episode.
Go on.
I do think the green screen in this one is very excessive and very noticeable, like almost all the time.
That's fair.
Like, because it's almost like, okay, we didn't actually have like a proper place to go to, so there's so much green screen when they're outside in the little village that I thought it was a little bit distracting at times. It kept happening. Like, it was just
that's fair.
In fact, there was one point when they first get to the tree, well, the crow's on it, that I could actually see the outline around them.
Yeah.
Against the green screen. It was weird. I was like, this is bizarre.
Which was amusing, because I thought all the crows looked all right.
Yeah. Actually,
which is usually the other way around.
I thought the shot of the crows all flying off the building, you know, at the start of the evening, and the music came in. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of a beautiful little moment. Like,
I
wasn't expecting this, but the kids also seem to enjoy it. So
when he's remembering that they called a murder.
Do you know what? Those kids hit out words that I don't know left, right, and centre. But I'm like, a murder of crows. It's a murder. Come on.
Yeah.
Klaus, come on.
Yeah, this is an easy one.
Yeah, and then he remembers it later. But hey, there was a lot of language played in this one. There was a lot of like Poe using words incorrectly, and then the kids correcting him, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of that in this episode. So they get to this village, and they're going to be, you know, the old say it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
This is a village that actually does that. This is the point of the village. Yes. And they come in, and it's like a courtroom almost, this town meeting, and you've got the three old ladies, the elders, with crow hats on. They've got crows on their head, and they basically tell them what they'll be doing. Well, since it takes a child to, you know, it takes a village to raise a child, and since a child's supposed to do chores, it stands to reason you'll be doing the chores for the entire village, and everyone's all happy about that. And
I'm not sure I can fault their logic.
And they get told to stop talking like 50 times.
Yes, no talking on the platform. Rule 908.
Unless you're the chief of police, of course.
Yeah, or a visiting banker acting as a consultant.
Yes. Yes. That honestly, the fact that anyone remembers all 9,000 of these rules is probably the most unbelievable thing the show's ever had.
I don't know. I did like when they went, you know our rules, and he's like, I'm a banker. I got a nose for bureaucracy.
Oh dear. I mean, they said the rule for not no talking on the platform about 50 times, and I still couldn't tell you what the number was.
Yeah, it was 90 something. I'm sure
Yeah,
of that.
but I still couldn't tell you. They said it 50 times, and I still couldn't tell you. There's a funny bit where Olaf's got the fake beard and he's pretended to be bartender, and Poe's getting a drink. And that's just a funny little scene.
Yeah, and all the rest of the troop is hiding behind the bar.
I like those little scenes because there's something funny about just like Olaf and this guy going, "Hey, did you happen to bring any orphans to the town today?" Like, just silly on the nose things like that, or even just simple things like when Hookman drops the red herring. He's like, "Man, this weighs like there's 2 orphans inside it." Really good. Yeah. That's good. So their actual carer, in the sense the person they're living with, is the town, like, that's what I'm looking for.
I don't know. I can't remember the word.
Does the odd jobs.
Yeah, it's not janitor.
Caretaker.
Yeah.
That sounds right. We need the kids. We need the kids from Lemony Snicket's story here too.
Groundsman.
Groundsman. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, so he's petrified. He faints all the time. The fainting joke wasn't doing a whole lot for me, but I did like his whole thing where he's built like a hot air balloon.
Yeah, like a hot air city.
Yeah, with tons of stuff, with all the books, everything he's been told to destroy, he's kept and like built a thing out of it. And what again? Like I was saying with the last story a lot, I feel like again this is really shaking up the formula by having Fillion and the librarian show up, fight Olaf, actually arrest Olaf. There's some jokes with him in prison. And then later on, like, no, Olaf's got the better of him, and they're using Fillion and they're saying he's Olaf, which is adding to this ridiculous joke that no one can tell it's Olaf except the kids, unless they actually see the tattoo or the monobrow. So they have Fillion with a fake monobrow, and then they've spiked his hair up at the sides to have the spiky
brilliant.
Edges, almost Wolverine-esque hair, I guess is what I'm saying. And it's like, even Mr. Poe's like, no, you got the monobrow, this must be him. He's like, oh, let's check his tattoo. And I'm like, oh, they set that up before, that he's got a tattoo as well. And it's not an eye, it's actually the letters VFD.
It is.
And a neat twist of events. And I'm like, okay, so now the kids have to, because he's like, hey kids, like, I might need your help. So
because it was like, I've been in worse spots, I'll be fine. They're like, yeah, there's some light punishment, and then it was Olaf suggests burn him at the stake. Yeah, in
the morning. He's like, okay, kids, I might be in a bit more of a jam, so could you?
Yeah. You ever staged a jailbreak?
Yeah. So so Violet builds a thing, and they're going to stage a jailbreak, and that's good fun. So it really shakes things up because now they're again, it's very different than normal. Than just Olaf running around the building they're in trying to kill them or grab them or whatever.
Yeah. So, we get a lot between Olaf and Snicket, their relationship, their history.
Yeah, the fact that they used to be friends. There was something actually we forgot to mention last episode that was hinted at, this idea that Esme's got a grudge against Beatrice for stealing something. And then this one we find out, I mean, this won't really be, but what it's been called the sugar pot, right?
Sugar bowl,
that was it. I don't know what that actually means. I assume it's not literal. It actually means something else. But yeah, Lemony references Beatrice at one point in this episode as well, actually.
Yes.
And I really like Snicket, as in Jacques Snicket, actually trying to hey, if you give yourself in, you can start building things for the better again. You can help us. We can do. If you put all this energy into actually bettering things again, we could maybe do something. And they've all been to this town before. They know this place. And
it seems to be VFD's old headquarters, I guess, because they talk about training here, and this was where they came to volunteer. This was where all the recruits were.
Yeah, and he offers his hand, and it's actually almost a touching little thing. But obviously Olaf's like, no. Eventually, though, the librarian actually gets Esme to let them out. Because, hey, I'll tell you where it is. And of course, she leaves off in the cab. He's like, hey, you take the taxi. You drive off. I'm going to protect the kids. And that's when we get the shocking. We don't see it, so there's clearly more, because he goes to get Snicket, or to get Olaf rather. Sorry.
Yes.
And they have the fight, and he's going to win. But of course, then Esme, drops the book on him. Literally.
Yes, and there's a crowbar in the crowbar.
There's a crowbar in the crowbar. Yes. All very amusing little play on words. And then we hear the next day that, because it's a callback to earlier on, where when they first arrest
Oh,
Olaf. And everyone's like, Olaf's been arrested. Then a second random person. Like someone says, what did you say? Someone else, Olaf's been arrested. Then someone else. And then it's Poe. It was like, well, I thought you left. Poe, what are you doing here? I'm running with these people because Olaf's been arrested. Let's go.
I'm running with the crowd. Yeah.
And so all very amusing. But then you hear at the end, it's like, oh, what did you say? Olaf's been murdered. And of course we know that they all think Olaf is Snicket. So
yeah.
I'm like, okay. What? Yeah.
And, you know, given all the ominous things that, you know, Lemony has been saying, you know, it's like, oh, I wish I could spend more time with my brother. You know, we've had a few of those moments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming he is actually dead.
This would be the darkest thing the show's done up until this point if he is dead.
I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of weird deaths, but this would be the first outright murder, right? Or that we've seen. Obviously, there's the arson implied.
This one is different because this is like, no, this is a character who... I don't know, this one just feels like more of an actual murder to me, like, for the audience, rather than the others, which are more sort of comical kind
zany
of endings.
things, yeah. No, I'm with you.
But it doesn't show you it, though. And then Olaf looks really smug at the end, of course, so...
It does, but I am assuming he's dead at this point. But they could swerve me.
I thought it was Fillion so soon. Then again, he had that heartfelt goodbye with the librarian, which makes
that's the thing. You know, he had that, and you know, all the little things that imply that he was not gonna survive anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope not. I don't want to lose Fillion this early. Come on.
Well, I mean, we got him for half a season.
We got a whole other half season though to fill with him. Come on.
I know. Librarian's gonna have to step up.
Apparently so. Right, go get Carmelita. She can replace him. I'll accept that as a trade. I'll
take it.
But no, all the stuff with Tim doing his Scatman cop routine though, and
I loved it.
Yeah. It was gold. I can't. It's almost a shame there won't be that much of it. Probably all in by the time we're finished these 2 episodes.
Yeah, we kind of cut down on the costuming a little bit this season.
Which it's good and bad because again it's shaking up what's happening. But when we get one that we really like, it's like, well, I could do with some more of this.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it's another funny character. I mean, I don't know how they came up with it. I do like that we've got 2 of them now doing it. I like that we've added Esme, and it's like no, we have a second person who's doing an over the top character, and she'll continue to do that along with him. I just assume so, unless she gets taken out again, like taken away from the plot.
Yeah, it's possible, but I'm assuming this is going to be ongoing now.
Yeah, he's got like a proper partner in crime.
Yeah, a proper another actor.
Also, when he was doing his whole scat thing, I did love that the Hook Man was doing the drums with it.
Yes. So good.
Just making it work, just doing that stuff. Yeah. So that's good. One of the rules was don't use your teeth recreationally.
Yes. Yeah, that seems very specific, doesn't it?
I don't know how we got to that rule, but there it is. I don't know. No, I think what's funny about this one is that this one feels like the most different episode we've had in terms of, because I think season 1, which I really enjoyed, but it was very kind of like formulaic in the sense that they go to a place, we learn who the characters are. Olaf shows up by the end of the episode, then part 2 it's like Olaf's whole scheme, and then we somehow wrap up right by the end. Right. This felt really different, and there was a lot more moving parts. We're trying to save the Quagmires, we've got a jailbreak with other characters we care about. We're trying to save them. Oh, he might be murdered. It's not just one Guardian now. Now we have got a whole town of people to deal with. Like,
yeah, I think it's because obviously in season 1 the final story in the mill tried to shake up the formula, and it didn't really work. Like, it wasn't the best episodes, right? Yeah,
that was probably the weakest. I mean, I still enjoyed it for the most part, but it was probably the weakest of the season.
Right, and it left me a little worried of, okay, if it goes off formula, does it lose what it is a bit, and does it not really know what to do? But it seems like they stepped it up for this season, took an effort to really shake up the formula.
I have to imagine the books also shook it up though with this batch. Like I have to imagine that we're writing 13 books here, right? So
yeah.
Presumably when we get to, is it 13? My math is terrible. 5 and 14. No. 5 and 8. 13, yeah.
13.
That took far too long.
You're right.
Anyway, the point I'm making. So people have read. Okay, so the first two you establish, it's almost like a TV show. This is a TV show, but I'm saying it's almost like a TV show where season one's all standalone episodes of like Freak of the Week. You know, every week like a new monster and a case to deal with. But once you get to season two, that's when the overarching plot really starts to creep in.
Yeah,
it almost feels like that. And I know this is a TV show, but I'm just saying, I'm thinking of the books. It still probably had that kind of mentality where you got to this point and it's okay. We need to start expanding what it is.
I think because obviously it's been a lot of stuff. I said a long time ago. I don't really remember. It'd be interesting to see if that is the case because obviously the author of the books is very heavily involved in the show. He writes a bunch of the episodes, and obviously is involved at the higher levels as well. But I'd be intrigued to see if they actually took that approach as to okay, no, this is how a TV show has to work. You know, because when you adapt for the different medium, you have to change things.
Well, we know the whole thing with the Quagmire parents in season one.
Yeah,
where we kept coming back to them, and it built up to them at the end. That was the way that stretched out through all the stories was new. I know that just from hearing it from other people that was something they added for the show to give like an overarching kind of thing, just a thread through all the stories. This season, I mean, I'm assuming they did that again, where they've maybe some of this stuff was all in one book, and they've maybe like sprinkled maybe all the stuff with Jacques was one book in the books. Yeah, that could have all been in one book, and then maybe they've sprinkled it through. So that it's spread over, maybe. I don't know, but it's working though.
It is working.
The season's not faulted for me so far.
No, same. I proper cracked up at the airplane style joke in this one. You know where the Snicket and Olaf are having their chase, and he throws the tusk at him, and he says something like, "It wasn't like I can't remember exactly bullseye." Yeah, and he goes, "No, it's a boar's tusk."
Yeah, I liked when they get those notes from the birds, which are coming from the Quagmires, and they run to the tree of crows, and they're like jumping up, and then like Snicket just like freeze frames, and Snicket walks on as he does. He's like, and he explains everything. He's like, so as it were, they're barking up the wrong tree, and then it cuts back to them, and they're just jumping up at the tree, and I'm like, it was so literal. It was good. So no, solid episode. Really, and obviously the overall mystery, the history of that rhymed. I didn't even mean that, but but the overall history of this VFD, how the Snickets were connected to their parents, how they were connected to Olaf, what sort of weird love triangle happened in the past that led to all this stuff. Why is Esme? I mean, what is the sugar bowl? Why is Esme so pissed about it?
Do you know what is funny? Is, we're like, oh, it represents something, but in this show, I could see it literally being a sugar bowl.
It's a prized possession. It's made of gold that she loves.
I wouldn't surprise, especially coming from Esme.
Yeah. Actually, I laughed again with the sexual innuendo when she's letting them out and she tries to distract us. Oh, this dance. You didn't want to dance last night. Oh, I had a headache.
There was a point where, at that point of the conversation, I thought, last episode, or the one before maybe, where they were doing the dancing thing, and we were like, oh, it's instead of having the sex, they're doing the dancing. I was thinking, oh, okay, is that actually just okay? No, that's their representation of they're having sex, right?
Okay.
Because this is something that How I Met Your Mother did a lot, where whenever they talk about smoking weed, they called it eating a sandwich, and you would always just see them eating a big sub instead of smoking, right?
Okay.
And I thought, oh, maybe it was something like that. But then, in the way that she was saying that, I didn't want to dance last night. I didn't want to dance last night. So I had a headache. It really felt like dancing is just that. But
then 2 lines later, though, one of the options was the horizontal tango.
Yeah, because she's listing all these dances and the horizontal tango, and he's like, oh, no,
that's okay. That sounds like actual sex.
yeah, it does.
No, I actually really laughed because she put her leg up on the little cabinet, meant to be all sexy, oh, my leg's out, and then when she tried to take it back down, she couldn't bend her knee properly, so she had to kind of awkwardly just sort of shimmy her leg off. It was kind of funny.
And Olaf, when he goes to look at the jail cell, when he puts his hand on her hip and notices the keys are gone, he literally just dives down and looks upside down at it. I thought that was a really nice touch.
Also, the deluxe jail cell having a noose, there just hanging, just in case the prisoner. That's why it's deluxe. You've got the option of suicide.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the deluxe part of it.
That is dark as shit. I love it.
Well, I mean, if this town's going to burn you at the stake in the morning, which by the way, when he suggested that the old crows get the joke, the literally old crows. when they suggest that, like, well, that's very unconventional and harsh, but entertaining.
I mean, they're not wrong.
So, no, quality episodes of Unfortunate Events. We'll be back as soon as we can with episode 6. So let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fudge for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. There's a link in the description. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?